Well, a lot of people have been wondering, who is Bernard Magugu? Bernard Magugu Conrad is a man who was born in Njombe. I did my primary school at St. Martin de Porres in Njombe. I did my secondary education in Rio Tinto, Njombe High School and Marist Brothers College, which is located in Kwekwe. I trained as a teacher, that is at Pondof Teachers College. Was a senior prefect. A prefect from my primary education, a prefect in my secondary education and in my high school. And at Pondof Teachers College, I was involved in the SRC briefly. And then I became the chairperson for the whole diocese, that is for Catholic Commission for Justice and Peace. I was also involved in Zim Rights and Amnesty International. I did a bachelor's in business administration degree with the Midland State University, and I continue to study with them, doing masters in business administration, while this time also doing an MPhil degree with the Zimbabwe Open University. So I'm actually aiming for 2 degrees at a go. I've been involved in ZAPU since a revival of the party in 2009. We did a lot of running, especially in the Midlands province and also at national level. And I've been involved in the think tank, advising the party and the president, the late Dumiso Dabengwa. We did a lot of work. We did a lot of paperwork as well, being led at first by Dr Dumiso, and then later on by Conrad and then lastly by Dr Strike Mkandla until 2015. Also contested in Njombe in 2013 on ZAPU ticket for the Member of Parliament. I've been involved in community work in a number of projects as a ZAPU cadre, and I still continue doing so. I'm 45 years old and I'm married. I'm a Christian, but at the same time a radical politically. I believe in human rightsism. I believe in development and progress. Thank you. Challenges too. The first challenge is what is on the ground politically. You get funding from outside the country, the ZANU government will censure that. That's the first thing. And again, you'd find that you have some friends maybe who are in government in other countries. They cannot actually do it openly, that they can fund you to unseat the sitting government. That's the first challenge which is there. And then the next thing, people would want to see you standing up and addressing their concerns. People will certainly start funding certain projects. I like to give examples. I remember when Chief Nhlanhla Ndiweni was incarcerated. I'm one of the people who actually made some contributions when there was a calling to say, let's bail out the chief. We want to raise money to support the chief. And certainly I had my $5 contribution towards that. What's the reason for me doing that? It is because Chief Nhlanhla Mangwe stood up and started to speak for the people against the brutal government of ZANU. And this is what we have not been doing as ZAPU. 3, the issue of members. The greatest membership of ZAPU, which is locally, they find it difficult maybe to make those contributions. Why? They are facing economic hardships that they can hardly use even their phones. I still remember in my constituency, what I normally do, I get a lot of people asking for airtime so that they can do ABCD. It means that these people are facing adverse economic challenges, and it becomes difficult maybe for them to pay for their membership. Worse, if we as a leadership, we are not standing up and talking against that designed poverty which is being pushed onto them by ZANU. This is where the problem is, and this is why ZAPU hasn't been actually getting any financial assistance from friends. Then we come to your second question, where you are saying ZAPU has got properties. Yes, they've got properties. And I'm one of the people who have been voicing out on why are we not getting those properties. And since I joined ZAPU in 2009, I still remember the late President Conrad DD. He has been saying, no, we are getting our properties. Next year we will be in the courts, etc., trying to get the properties. I still remember at one point in time in Mzwati, we said, why don't you allow us to mobilize ourselves and go and fill in Davis Hall and tell them that we have taken our property? But now he asked me a question and said, Magugu, do you know exactly which are ZAPU properties and which are ZIPRA properties? Actually, it became actually difficult for us to do that. But now you will see that those people who are supposed to claim those properties, they are not coming out in the public to explain to us where we are now with those properties and what are the challenges they are facing. And that has actually made it difficult, maybe if you are coming from the lower structures, to come and make some challenges like that. But now, when I'm in the upper echelons, it will mean that we will need to talk about it. Definitely and certainly we won't be quiet about those. And then your last question is, why were you not doing it? And why are you not doing it now to raise funds for the party? One of the things we need to understand, I think in Europe we've come to Conrad Dr. Mguni. I was involved when he actually approached me. I was involved in crafting the quiz questions so that we managed to raise funds for different activities. And I was doing that and submitting the quiz questions. There was national quiz and people were winning, those quizzes, and people were actually throwing their monies. And that on its own, it was the willpower I was actually giving to the party to say, no, I'm willing to participate in party activities in doing ABCD. Again, we need to to come up with monthly financial statements. When you are given the money, you need to account for that money. As it is, I don't know, as members of the party, whether you had an end of the year financial statement being given to our provincial executives to say, now we had $300 and our offices were $2,500. We have a remaining balance of so much, and this is how we used the monies which you donated. So the issue of accountability is actually defeating the purpose. It is actually discouraging the would-be donors to say, now I did surrender the money to so and so for party activities, and then at the end of the day, this man was used in this way and that way. One of the greatest mistakes we can make is to fall into the trap of tribalism. I remember making my contribution in the constitution making to say we don't have a tribe called Shona. The tribes which you are trying to force into one kraal and call them Shona, we have Zezuru. Zezuru is different from the Kore. Kore, Zezuru, they are different from the Manyikas. Certainly they are different from the Ndaus and the Karangas. Culturally, geographically, they are different. Even in their dialects, they are just different when they speak. And when you talk and sell this idea to at one point in time, I was in Chimanimani, that was last year. When we were talking with the Ndau people and the Manyikas, they actually agreed to that, to say we need to address that when ZAPU is in power, we will need to address that, such that Kore is spoken, it is promoted, it is taught in schools as it is, no standardized Shona. Because once we try to fall into that trap, then this is when we are going to have some people being more than the other. Again, point number 2. If very soon, in the following weeks after the provincial conferences, I think I'll be launching my manifesto. We are talking about national, inclusive nationalism. And inclusive nationalism is devolution unpacked. And this type of devolution is devomax. We are saying everyone needs to be included into the decision making. Everyone needs to be included as communities. They all need to enjoy the national cake, meaning that those in Victoria Falls will need to be given the first preference in terms of employment, given the first preferences in terms of land, in everything they need to do in those communities. They need to be given the first preference. However, again, the advantage with Comrade Magugu, the one who is speaking, I can speak these languages. I know cultural practices of the Karanga, of the Ndau, of the Manyika, of the Kore and the Zezuru. I've been working with them. I've been learning them. And currently, I'm learning Kalanga. and Sutu. And I've got a comrade again in Pinga who is teaching me Tonga. Why? These are the types of leaders we need today, such that when you visit Pinga, you can speak in Tonga, address the people in Tonga. This is their area. You need to respect them. And respecting them is respecting even their language. And once I master those languages, I will go on and try to be the next Wizima Suge who could speak 21 languages. This is what we need currently. And should we make a mistake as ZAPU and elect a person who will reach Murewa and fail to speak in Kore Kore or to speak in Zezuru, then definitely it will be easy to tarnish and smear that leader. Remember, MTC and ZANU, they have mastered the politics of survival. So now as a leader, I will manage to address those issues in that manner. Devolution of power is there, but the devolution we need to push for is Devomax. Thank you.